Let's get into this. G'day, Stu from UAVFutures here. Welcome back to Happy Flying. I think honestly, this stream right here, I've got written down number 46, but it could be number 47. I'm not sure. We're coming up to a year close on streaming. But what this is, I just want to say welcome to Happy Flying. It's our FPV live stream. We talk all things drones, all things FPV. We generally have a good time, hang out, and just also have a focus on some positive mental health. Now, first things first, I always need to check my audio equipment is working. This is streaming correctly to you guys, and I am also recording. If you could just let me know, can you hear me correctly in the chat? That would be fantastic. We got Mr. J in here saying huzzah. I can see some other people as well. Thank you very much, Spruny FPV here, week in, week out. Always here. I'm hugely grateful for just you being a member and for everybody else for being here as well. We got Chris Croft chiming in saying audio is fine. So hopefully everything is working well. We got some cool stuff to talk about. A little, filling you guys in on what's been going on, why there's been no videos, all that sort of stuff. We're obviously going to talk a little bit about some mental health and promote some positive mental health so people don't feel alone. That's a huge part of this stream. We're going to talk about this bad boy, which you might not have seen before. Or if you're an old-time viewer, have you ever seen a drone that looks like this? So we're going to be talking about this, a little bit of a revamp in a little bit. I have some huge, exciting announcements about DJI FPV. So that's thanks to you guys as well. So we've been listening to your feedback. We've implemented something. I got some bad examples of DJI. So if you're a DJI fanboy out there, you're going to realize why. This is one thing that I really don't like about their proprietary battery sort of stuff. We're going to be talking about that. This has turned up if you are into OpenIPC. We are finally going to be talking a little bit about the Ruby system and sort of how that goes together versus a different, that other receivers you would have seen on my other videos for OpenIPC. We're going to be talking about upgrading your drone. I've got some questions that I need to answer as well. I've got some emails and I was like, yes, I'll make sure I answer that in the stream, because if you guys ever have a question and it's not live, just shoot me an email, or that's UAVFutures@gmail.com. But generally, we're going to be, just hanging out, having some fun, and just talking all things drones. And of course, if you have any questions or if there's anything that you would like to check out in the FPV space, please let me know, because this is the best part of my working week, hanging out with you guys, connecting with the people watching this right now, the UAVFutures family. I love doing these live streams. It's Monday morning for me, but it might be a different time for you guys out there as well. So wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're feeling good. I hope I can make your day a little bit better. And just generally, thank you for being here. Now, I do have to apologize. I do have a cold. I'm a little bit sick, actually. So I've got something which is called a lem sip. I don't know if they have them in other places around the world. It's just a bunch of paracetamol and some other medication and like some lemony powdery drink that you pour some boiling water with. And yes, it helps your sore throat and your head and all that sort of stuff for a cold and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So if my voice starts to disappear later in here, that is why. Now, as well as connecting with you amazing guys, I should probably give a shout out to, because Central Coast Coffee, a huge shout out. That's like Phaser FPV, an amazing FPV store. That's like their sister store. They sponsor the stream by just sending me some coffee each month. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a shout out. But let's get into it. First and foremost, I can see Happy RC Flyer here. I have to say, I just subbed to his channel, left a little like on his video. I like what you're doing. And I would like to say, anybody out there who's making content on drones, it's just what I really liked about Happy RC Flyer's stuff after this stream, definitely go check him out, is he just makes nice content and came across as a very genuine individual, because that's what people like to see on YouTube. If you are thinking about making content, just people being themselves and open towards the camera. And I thought you did a great job there presenting that Happy RC Flyer. Anyway, we've got Crazy Rooster as well. Let's get in. First things first. So we've got mental health. Then we're going to be talking about the Rat Quad. This is the part of the stream, although it might not be the most popular. I would like to say to the people watching this, to the people that need to hear this, please, I would like to let you know before we talk about FPV that you are valued, you are cared about. I care about you. I care about that you are here. I care about improving your life. and that you have a better day. And I want you to feel valued and also heard, because in the past, I have suffered with some mental health things. Thankfully, it's a lot better now, but there were some really dark times in my life that I am very grateful that I'm still here, still be able to talk about drones and everything, but I want to make people not feel so alone, so they don't feel like they have to suffer in silence. It's not weak to speak. Please don't be ashamed. If you are that sort of person that's just not feeling okay, it is okay to not feel okay. Please go and speak to somebody, because you are not alone. Plenty of people go through it, and I just hope that I can remove the stigma behind that. And if somebody is suffering out there, this might be that little call to action that they say, oh yeah, I actually haven't been feeling the best, and I've sort of put it off for a little while. I don't know where to start. Today might be the day when they hear this message, just that one person hears it, to let them know that please speak up. You deserve it. You deserve to have a good life. You are cared about. You are special. You are unique. I value that you are here. And I'm saying this because I do care about you. So if those people are out there, even just that one person that needs to hear this, I would just like to let you know that this community and we are here for you, and please don't feel alone. All right. We're going to talk jump straight in now. We're going to be talking about this drone right here. And I guess this is a question that what can we do when it comes to our old FPV drones? Why do some people fall out of love with FPV? It seems like some people dive right in, and then where are they like 2 years later, 3 years later? And also, can you still use that old stuff that you used to fly around with, or do you need to get the latest and greatest, or is the answer somewhere in the middle? So this is going to all sort of wrap around, because what I have right here, we're going to have a video you're going to see on my channel in just a little bit, and some old time viewers, let me know if you have ever seen this quad before. This is probably going back like 5-6 years or something like that. This is from Flinoceros. This brand, I don't think this even exists anymore. If you try to Google this is called the Rat Quad, and this has sort of come full circle. So I didn't have this for a bunch of years, and it is only recently, and a shout out to Mystery J right there, that I've been flying with him, because this ended up with Mystery J, and then he contacted me about it. So what we've got right here is my original, but now since been upgraded Rat Quad. And he's saying, I've got to give him a shout out too for letting me borrow his drone, because it's not mine anymore, to be able to do this. And I was like, we should do a bit of an upgrade video. So we've decided to take this pretty unique frame right here, and then give it like a bit of a makeover for 2025, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel to have a good time flying. What I really hate to see when it comes to drones, and you guys can probably agree, is if people are just pushing and saying you need the latest and greatest to have a good time, that's just a waste of money. I think people should be able to enjoy FPV, and that means using the gear that they have and getting the most out of it. And this is probably a prime example. So what we've done to upgrade this, we've kept the frame, but we did gut it. We put some new motors on here. So these are some Neon motors, 2306s. They are from Meps King or something. So I'll probably be, I don't know. Oh, is it Meps King? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how to pronounce that. But we also have a DJI. We put an 03 in here. And then a pretty standard, just like, I can't remember the stack that we put in the middle. I think it was out of an old Nazgul or something. But this offers a very unique flight experience that we don't really get too much in today's flying FPV world, because everything is so centered about like performance, and this one, it's all about just having some fun. It is a pretty cool craft, so I can't wait to actually rip this around. I haven't flown this yet. I'll have to go and check in with Jay that if that's cool, because I don't really want to crash it. It's kind of like a work of art. When the battery's in here, it really feels like you are flying around in like a hot rod or a rat rod or something like that. The only problem I have with it, I like to kind of fly a little bit faster. This is sort of made for more cruising, like enjoying that experience, where the camera tilt in here, you can't really see too much because the camera is in the middle right there. So I'm not too sure how it's going to go in terms of flight characteristics. Now we put HD and all that sort of stuff in here, but I am excited, I must say. Excuse my voice. I can feel it disappearing already. That's so cool looking. That's the hot rod of FPV. And it doesn't have to cost much to keep the hobby spicy. That's from Happy RC Flyer. And we've got Crazy Rooster with some great examples. He's saying, I took my old Wizard out and he took the camera and VTX out to practice his line of sight. Line of sight is very difficult. Yeah, if you would like to fly line of sight, always remember, keep the rear of the drone facing towards you. Otherwise, it gets really, really confusing very, very quickly. I saw the 3D printed files for that quad online somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty tricky. The other part too that I would like to bring your attention to, if we jump over here, this was actually built. So if I had it, when I had a look, this guy here, Biff FPV, it looks like, and this was kind of like a bittersweet moment for me, where he's like, Stu, I actually built this quad for you for this review when I sent it over. Thanks so much, blah, 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 blah. And then if I look at his videos, it kind of makes me sad when we just see people stopping like 6 years ago or 5 years ago, and then that's it, you know? So it looks like, what is this? We've got a Flinoceros, and then we're talking about some other FPV stuff, and then that's it. We never hear from them again. So I don't know, a little bit, why does that happen in our hobby? And I don't know if I actually have the answer, because how long have you guys actually been flying? When did you start? Can you put that in the chat now? If you're one of the people watching this, let me know in the chat, how long have you been flying for? What did you start with? And where is your excitement in terms of those levels as well? Jeremy is saying, hi Stu, I'm not scared or ashamed to admit anything from what I've seen with people that are around and the tragic ways I've seen some of my friends left this world. Believe me, not, and then it sort of cuts out there. Sorry, Jeremy. It cut your message off, but I would like to say I'm glad that you are here, and I like that you are saying that. Yeah, please don't ever be ashamed to speak up, get some help. Just don't feel alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. Talking about that mental health sort of stuff. Cos is saying I still might fly my Vortex 230 Mojo now and then. Man, that's got to be old. Let's have a quick little Google before I talk about DJI FPV. Oof. This is old. I wonder if they still sell these or if it just says out of stock. Is Immersion RC even still a company? Oh, this site is loading very slowly. Let's get this on the screen. Is that this drone right here? Because I couldn't. The problem with drones like this, where they're all together, is they're very, very difficult to work on. Like if something goes wrong, it's such a pain to open up. Is this going to please expand? And here's two names as well. Final Glide and Gapit FPV. Like they were huge. Yeah. And that's a pretty old drone right there. Pretty hard to work on though, like to change any ESCs and stacks and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Jamie P is saying 2021, I started with the Mr. Steel Apex, so that's a very expensive drone to start with. Chris Croft saying my first quad was Immersion RC Vortex 250 Pro. What's sort of following there, what we can see on the screen right here. And the DJI Spark, I don't even remember. Yeah, lots of virtual flights first. Yes, that's it, the purple one. Purple or blue? I don't know which of these colors is closer to purple, red or blue, or both, what you mix together. All right. What I would like to show you, and this is pretty exciting, is if you have ever wanted to sell something like Marketplace and you've looked at Facebook and all that sort of stuff, on DIY FPV, we did create listings just the other month where you could list your own things and link them into the database. But check this out now. Sorry. If we jump over here, you will notice on my website right now, we also have a marketplace. So if you've ever wanted to buy secondhand gear, this is going to be the place for you. You jump in here, you can sort by like different stores, different locations, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know who's going to be buying it. My face is right here, but a $200 Tyrannus, but maybe you want some HD Zero goggles. Look at this. This gentleman's selling them right there. JZE, FPE, FPV. He's also got some Walk Snail goggles. It looks like this guy's got a lot of gear actually, but I digress. Now we've made it easier than ever. You can simply come in here, make a marketplace listing, and then boom, there it is. If you ever want to check out secondhand gear or you want to buy some, go check this place out. There's no fees. You can also send somebody a message with this little button right here. You can contact the seller. It's just, I don't know, an easy way and all in one place for FPV. So hopefully that's going to help some of you guys out there as well. I'll probably do a video on it in the future. And there's also things like the map, which I actually haven't checked out in a little while. You can see thousands of pilots from around the world. If you want to meet up, go flying with some people. Yeah, just really cool. And of course, we've also got our catalog as well. If you would like to, say you want to buy some of these goggles, you can find out where they got them in stock, all the different partnered stores, all that sort of stuff. That is a lot of walk style goggle L goggles, actually. I've got a lot of options right there. Happy Fly saying, really excited about this marketplace. That's going to be gold with all the instability with getting new gear. Yeah, it is a little bit scary, actually, the amount of places, especially if you're in the US. Please let me know. I don't know how many US viewers I actually have right now, but what it is like trying to buy something. I don't know what's going on with the tariffs, and like the world is a very scary place right now for a lot of people. I feel quite grateful that I'm in Australia, but that doesn't mean that I can't relate to those people out there with many difficulties happening in their life. And now just that little bit more of like, I don't even know where I'm going to get my FPV parts from. That kind of sounds like a first world problem, but definitely it doesn't mean it's not going to be annoying. If you've had access to FPV parts and that sort of stuff, it's going to be painful. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm just going to say Unilax. He's just joined, and I'm going to say welcome to the UAVFutures family, you absolute legend. It's not every day we get a new member, so I want to say thank you because it does make a difference. You're kind of like the lifeblood of this channel, my Patreons, and also the members that are here. We have some members-only videos, so you can go and enjoy those now. And I also have some pretty exciting things coming down the pipeline that I can't wait to show you as well. It's super expensive, and lots of stuff is out of stock here in the USA. That's from Happy Flyer RC. And Lax is saying, I just got the Goggles 3 and a Flywoo Explorer. They took about 3 weeks to get here, but parts are... Okay. Maybe we'll be back. All right. I think we're back. Hello, welcome back. Okay. All right. We are back. I don't know where I was up to. Thank you if you are still here watching this. Welcome back to the weekly FPV live stream where usually things go a little bit smoother, but you can never tell with some Australian internet. That was a little bit scary actually because my PC crashed and then slowly the screen like started to disappear. It just slowly turned blue, like line by line by line. It looked like it was playing Snake with itself. Anyway, we are here. I forget what my latest topic was, whatever I was ranting or raving or talking about. But yeah, I would just like to say, Unilax, thank you for tuning in and becoming a member. Shout out to Spruny as well. He's here week in, week out. And for everybody else who was hanging around and waiting while we had some technical difficulties here, you guys are amazing. Part of the UAVFutures family, which really does make this the best part of my week, like hanging out with you guys. And it's very stressful as a content creator to be like, oh no, I've, my stream is down, people are going to leave and disappear and then come back, all that sort of stuff. And the comments here, and you guys saying, hey, Stu, no stress, we're still going to be here. Don't worry, we're just going to chat amongst ourselves. It was very nice to read that, very reassuring and just very kind of you as well. All right, let's get on with this. We were talking a little bit about like prices in the US and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to start recording because I feel like that might make my computer explode. Yeah, this marketplace over on DJI FPV, it should help people out just to maybe give them access to other things that they can fly with, other parts that aren't usually available, especially if first-hand stores are all out of stock. Now, Darren Eddy is saying, did you get the VTOL out of the tree? I thought so. I went this morning. Each morning I go out and I have a little bit of a look. Someone's saying sale site. What was that? I will show you in just a second. The VTOL, it is still in the tree, but it has moved a little bit. So I don't know how much it's going to work after all the rain we've got. I really want the Edge T3 system that's still stuck up there with it. It has moved a little bit, so maybe in the next big wind or the next storm that rolls through here, it might fall out a little bit more. So it has shifted. It is now hanging just by the tail. I actually thought this morning that I couldn't see it. I was like, oh, it's fallen down. I got all excited. No, it's just moved a little bit further down. But that is still very, very positive. Red Dog is saying, what site are you talking about? That is this site right here. So, like the DJI FPV website, this is my website that I've made for you guys. Like if you want to get something, say a Radio Master Pocket controller, you can come here, you can have a look at all the stores and where it is and who's got it in stock and all that sort of stuff. There's a whole bunch here. What's going on? So you can see, oh, here's where it's got it in stock. Here's the different prices around the world, blah, 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 blah. However, now we also have the marketplace, so you can see some local listings if you want to buy something secondhand. So that should help somebody out there. I was in tears watching that video. Yeah, it was not good to crash the VTOL up in the tree. You asked where we left off, and I said the sale site. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you very much. All right, the next thing that I would like to talk about, and this is why I don't like some things that DJI does, because I feel like it is really, really anti-consumer. At the moment, I really like flying around with the DJI 04 air units and everything. I like the Goggles 3. I even like the N3. I recommend them. However, one of the criticisms I had was, oops, what was that one? That was this receiver. Hopefully that still works. Was I don't really like the battery on the back, and some people are like, oh, that's not a problem. I never have an issue with it. I much prefer being able to use my own battery because DJI is absolutely horrid at making us buy new things when we don't need to. Now, a perfect example of that, one of the videos that I am working on, it would have been better if I had like a filming quad. It's not really my jam, and I understand that. However, I was like, oh, I actually have a DJI Spark downstairs, and I also have a Phantom 4 Pro. I went to get them out, and the batteries were completely cooked, which is understandable. I mean, like, sure, fair enough. I tried to recover them, do a bit of magic, maybe swap them out, replace them, but DJI doesn't like that. And it has been an absolute nightmare. So here I am making a part of a video, and I should record this because it might help somebody. Please don't break. Okay, my computer is still working. This part of the video, it might help one or two people out there to sort of go through and explain and maybe help them recover it. So this is the shell of a DJI battery, and it was an absolute nightmare to try to fix that battery. I wasn't successful, but that doesn't mean that this information isn't going to be valuable for somebody. What I needed to do this was some special software. I had one of these, which like a little Arduino thing, and also a 9-volt battery. Yeah, that's right. This felt like I was like building a Frankenstein battery, plugging it into my computer, running all sorts of random code, all that sort of stuff. Because what DJI does, when they recognize the cells aren't good in something, it basically just flags it and says, don't even try to recover it. No, it's locked. This battery is done. It gets a little flag in the software that's on this little board right here. And even if you were able to bring the cells back to life, it's not going to ever work again. Even if the cells were back to normal voltages, all that sort of stuff, DJI's like, no, it's a safety risk. Let's not let them charge these batteries. They need to go and buy some new ones. Now, if I want to buy a new Spark battery right here, this is over like $100. So I was like, I'm going to try and fix this first. So I opened it up, and man, what an absolute mission. First and foremost, they're like almost impossible to open. But for anybody else who wants to try to maybe see this video, I had to go, and here is a bit of a site that is like an unlock tool. I'll put this in the description if I ever make it. What is it? This is what I Googled anyway. Circuit Schools, DJI battery repair tool for Mavic. I'm sure you'll be able to do this. However, if you go down here, we can see there's a bunch of pin layouts, which is exactly what's on the bottom of my Spark battery right here. And then, and this is important to note to these, then you connect up your little one of these. And I have to say too, this software, it is paid. So you go here to download. It doesn't really say that I don't know if it says it. Oh, here we go. It was $5. So I sent these guys $5. They send you like a little download link. You get that code, you run it on your computer, and then you'll come up with a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of different things that you need to do. It'll go through, it'll do like some unlock processes, all that sort of stuff. You're meant to click start unlock, and it will do that. It'll come through. Now the problem for me was, and this is what microcontroller are you using? I think it was just like an Arduino Mini. Fortunately, it was the exact same one that is on this website right here. Now, when you do this, it gets more crazy because the batteries inside my Spark, they had no voltages. Like the battery was actually dead. I wanted to clear the board that was on here for maybe I could build my own battery to put inside this. So what you also need to do then, you need to have another 2 pins that are connected, and those 2 pins, so we've got this connected, we've got like 2 pins in right here, and if you run this software and it can't detect a battery, even after you've got your Arduino plugged in and you're running it, it'll just say can't find it, can't find it. These 2, you need to give this a little bit of power, external power, so it can boot up, and then it can go through, check and unflag some of those results. I had to connect this to a 9-volt battery, like out of the smoke alarm in the house. I've got it right here. I need to put this back. Connect this to one of those. Then while I'm holding that on there, click run on the computer. It'll go through, it'll boot this up, then it'll remove those flags. Like, it was such a nightmare. However, it did work. The only problem for me is those cells that I had in there were completely dead. So then whenever I went to recharge it, it was going to be like, oh, it's going to keep flagging it again. So the only way for me to fix this then is to direct solder some new solder pads right here. And there's also no like positive single input for this. We have like our 3 different cells, and each one of these is, I think this is like cell 1, cell 2, and cell 3 that are connected in there. It's like an absolute nightmare, but that might help that one person out there. So DJI goes through lots of trouble just to keep us from working on our own equipment. Yeah, that's exactly right. So that's what I am a little bit worried about with my headset goggles. I don't want them to ever be like, nah, you can't do that. Because if I had to replace this, if this was the same sort of battery inside my goggles, I would be pretty upset. Now, that video is not going to be for 99% of FPV pilots out there, but maybe just one person who's going through some pains and they would like a little bit more of information. That's what this channel is all about. Someone saying, yeah, 9-volt battery. Yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, that's there. And I had the worst luck. Like, I know batteries, right? I have a general rough understanding of how voltages and everything works. I had the worst time for batteries last week. Last week was a pretty rough week in my life. And on top of that, I was like, oh, I tried to fix the Phantom 4 battery. It didn't work. So I was like, okay, I'm going to move over. I'm going to try and repair some of these Spark batteries. Absolute nightmare to try to do that. And then I was like, oh, my wife said, can you have a look at the vacuum, which is actually behind us just here? Taking that thing apart, that battery was completely dead inside the Dyson vacuum. So I had to order a new one of those. I could not repair that. I don't know what was going on with the circuit board inside there. That was frustrating. And then my wife left the keys in the car because someone crashed into the back of my wife's car last week. Very, very annoying. She was like at a stop sign and someone just wasn't paying attention. So when she was taking some photos for insurance, when the car was back at our place, she had the keys in the ignition and then took the photos that she had to send off for insurance and forgot that she left the keys in there. So we also had a dead car battery last week. So I was even like, oh, I can fix this. I know how to charge this with my drone battery chargers and all that sort of stuff. No, that battery was completely dead, down at like 4 volts. And I was not going to repair a lead acid battery and take it apart. And I was like, so I ended up buying a new new vacuum battery, a new car battery last week. And I don't want to pay $100 for a new Spark battery when it's like 3 850 milliamp hour LiPo cells in here. So like it's the price of a 3S LiPo, which I've got so many downstairs, and it's so frustrating that DJI just won't do that. All right. Anyway, I went on a little bit of a rant right there. MadTex had a video on how to mod goggles to take out the external battery. Yeah, okay, well that's great if you can do that. I would be interested to. I'll have to check that out, because if it is anything like what DJI's done here, I don't like it. If it is as simple as like desoldering 2 wires and putting your own in there, I would absolutely love that. Part of the reason these batteries are for normal people and then screwing with lipos is not a good idea for normal people. That's fine, but it shouldn't flag them permanently to say, hey, you can't use this. If you put the cells back to normal working order, it should be like an easy swap. I get, like, if you can open this up, I would be happy to, like, oh, they kind of know what they're doing. I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit of a money grab. Yeah, someone's saying things usually break in threes for a reason. He adds a 9-volt buck. It's a new board. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Anyway, and I'm also not superstitious, so I didn't like that three things. I was like, I don't want to deal with that, because we've had some rough other things going on that I was like, oh, I don't want that with the threes, with my mom, and then with the dog, and a whole bunch of things. All right, let's move on. We're out of DJI battery hell. Someone's saying it was a fairly simple soldering job. This is not simple. This is not simple in here in the slightest. Someone's saying we build our own drones. We should be able to fix our own batteries. Yeah, the problem with DJI is, though, we don't build them. We just buy them and fly them, and then have to buy new ones. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. This is the Runcam Wi-Fi RX. I know a couple of people have been asking about it. What is the difference like? I've got to go out and fly this. The weather's been a little bit bad. We did have the original Open IPC version right here. It was pretty terrible when it came to, like, not even the image quality. The image quality didn't bother me that much. It was more like the reliability. So it would freeze, or the screen would tear. It was really, really difficult. I wouldn't trust this at all, trying to fly around with the standard Open IPC version. I'm pretty excited to try this. This is the dedicated receiver version. So this is now going to go on the front of my goggles. So if I get my HD, basically like how my HD0 receiver is on here, I'll be able to connect it up, swap it in the front, and then get some Ruby, I don't know what you call it, like Ruby FPV, Open IPC, whatever it's going to be, with the Runcam Wi-Fi link. So that should be a pretty cool video. Just got to wait till the weather gets a little bit better, and then I can fly that. And it'll be amazing if we actually had a decent competitor at a cheaper price, because I really like Open IPC. I think there's something there that people want to be able to fly around cheaply. They deserve that, but it is a long way from, I guess, the two or three major top competitors, and then even something like Edge T3 and that sort of stuff. All right. Someone's saying you do threes too. I'm not too sure what you mean there. Every day we bring a man. We've got so many members right here today. I'm feeling pretty lucky. We did speak about upgrading your drone. Sorry about my voice. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat. I might end this one a little bit earlier. It feels like it's been a bit of a cursed stream, maybe. But I wanted to make this stream because I feel like it's really important for you guys, because you are a part of the UAVFutures family. I felt like I was letting you guys a little bit down. I know last week I had to go with my mum to some doctors for some scan results and that sort of stuff. She was like, hey, can you come with me? So we went and did that. And I'm a big believer of putting family first, but also too, I want to let you guys know that you are valued, you are cared about. And I'm sorry that I wasn't here last week. I wanted to make this stream happen this week for you as well. Now, I would like to give a shout out. This is going out to, I'm sure a lot of you guys might know, this gentleman. There's a gentleman called Bot Grinder in our FPV community. He makes amazing content. I watched him for a long time. He's been in FPV for a long time. And it really resonated because he had to put, it feels like a lot of parallels between his life and my life, and like going through things and discovering FPV and having such a positive influence on our lives. 2 weeks ago, when I did the stream, I was taking the dog to the vet. So that's Charlie. If you guys probably would have seen Charlie in some of my videos anyway. He has been with me from the start. He is still here. Thankfully, the vet gave him some medication and said, hey, look, you can probably get another couple of months with your dog, and your family can spend some time with him. And then I saw a recent video from Bot Grinder where he said he had to put his dog down. So I guess this is like a little personal video for Bot Grinder if he ever sees this, or I might send it to him just to let you know that your dog was lucky to have you. And if I feel like I'm almost talking to myself in the future here, like of what I'm going to be saying to myself when I'm going to put my dog down in a few months. But I understand the pain and the heartache, and just like it makes me a blubbering mess when I think about the dog and taking the dog to the vet and the person talking to me about what's going to be happening, and like a feeling in my throat. And that is purely because that's how much we care about these silly little animals. And that I don't think we'd have it anyway. Like, that's just a natural feeling because you cared so much about your dog, and your dog really was lucky to have you. I know how much you looked after your dog, and you've had that dog for a long time that would have seen such a positive change in your life. And I'm sure if that dog was a person, it would say that it was proud of you, and it would say thank you for everything that you've done for yourself, and also for her. I think Bot Grinder's dog was a girl, but yeah, I just wanted to make this to let Bot Grinder know that this random Aussie dude on the other side of the planet who he's never met in person is thinking about him, sending him just some positive vibes out there, and that people understand that if you need to take some time or do whatever that you need to do, and just you should be proud. That's probably what I would like to say of the life that you provided and the connection that you had with that animal. All right. Someone's saying, Stu, I cried when my dog died a couple of years ago. It was one of the few times a man is allowed to cry. Man, when I was at the vet and they were sort of saying, Stuart, this might be time to let the dog go. We can try some medication. That feeling, like, I don't know, I just was like, wanted the lady to, okay, stop talking now. I get it. I'm not in a mood to respond. And then the part that really broke my heart when I'm there with the dog, like I want to make clear, like, Charlie's still alive for a little while, but when my eldest daughter looked at me when the lady was talking about putting Charlie down, and just the look on my daughter's face, like, stop this, no, like this realization that she might, I can't fix everything, and that she's going to have to say goodbye to her dog. Like, I think that broke me more than anything, just seeing the look on her face, shaking her head, being like, no, Dad, this is, no, she's only 8. This is not right. I don't want this to happen. Please, you can change this. Like, just the begging, the willing, the looking for anything not to have to deal with that. So that was pretty rough as well. Anyway, dogs should vote. They're the best people. Yeah, 100%. We did just be all hanging around just at the dog park all day chasing tennis balls. All right, so that was a little special message for Bot Grinder. I would like to say, I know this stream has been a little bit chaotic, a little bit all over the place. I do have some videos coming. I'm working on some other stuff as well. I've got some stuff in the post. I've got some stuff under NDAs, or embargoes, which I'm not going to release until the date. But yeah, I just would like to make this little announcement, say you guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support and the well wishes, and all the emails that people sent me last week. Yeah, it's just been a rough week here over at the UAVFutures household. For me personally, I'm feeling still really positive, still feeling great mentally. It's just these things come up in life that are a little bit, some stuff to deal with. And I should say too, I did have an email that I have to answer. I'll just do it right now, because this was a question from one of the viewers that said they were going to tune into the stream from an old FPV pilot. And by I say old drone pilot, like someone who's 70 plus. Hi Stu, hope you're keeping well and everything is good about your mum. Thank you there. He's progressing with his 5-inch build. He's purchased DJI N3s and an 04 Air Pro. Great. Can you give me your opinion on the following before I go ahead and purchase them? So he said the frame is the Valador V5 HD. That's an amazing frame. That is, let me show you right here. This frame. I think that's how you spell it. It'll be very similar to this one. Anyway, very similar to one of those. Amazing frame. I really, really like it. It's probably my most flown drone of 2024, at least in the 5-inch. This is like my main testing rig. This is the one I'd fly all the time for fun. He's getting some Zing motors. You've got 1855 kV on a 6S, 2207s. That's going to be fine. SpeedyBee F4 V4, pretty standard stack. And then he's saying a Radio Master RP1, RP2, or RP3. You definitely want to get this receiver. What What about if I just say, oh, look, I didn't spell radio correctly. The RP1, I like the ones with the dedicated antenna. That's the one that I would recommend. I don't like the ones with the ceramic antenna, especially if you're using a 5-inch. Other people in the chat is saying I've got 3 inches, very well built. There's a few people actually. And then, yeah, so get a RP1. Not RP2 has a ceramic antenna, not recommended. And I think RP3, is that for 2.4 gigahertz, or it might be Gemini? Anyway, it's overkill. Just get the RP1, super cheap, reliable receiver. Not sure about the props. Here's the thing about props. Just get some random tri-blade props. Like, how much are some tri-blade props? It's not going to make too much of a difference. Like these. Here we go. They're done. I'd be happy to fly that. Like, it'll be nice, smooth. You can always just get a bunch of cheap props, especially if you are new building something. It's not going to make that much difference to your flying style. You might be looking for something that's a little bit more butter smooth, a little bit more punch for racing, you know, or whatever it's going to be. If you are brand new, or this is the first time that you are building a drone, the difference is going to be so negligible that it's not going to be noticeable by a new pilot. It is kind of like saying to somebody who's, I'm going to learn how to cook, and you put them in the kitchen and then you say, oh, you've got a gas stove or an induction stove cooktop. And they're like, I've never even cooked boiling water before. It doesn't matter. It's going to do the same sort of thing. Just get to cooking and have a good time and learn. When you're really good at cooking, okay, maybe you want gas, maybe you want induction, whatever it's going to be. It's the same thing with propellers. Just get some budget, cheap propellers, get a bunch because they're going to break, fly them, have fun. Even when I bash my drones up and the propellers are all bent, I just bend them back and keep flying and have a good time. Like, that's sort of where we're at with propellers now. Jake is saying, hey Stu, hello from Michigan. I know you like to fly, but how about our B2 bombers the other day? And I don't want to get involved in anything political. I have to say the B2 is kind of a pretty impressive machine. I just don't know how I feel about sovereign nations. Well, I would be pretty upset if you guys came and bombed Australia. I'd be like, oh, that's a cool plane, but please don't bomb our stuff. So I don't know. I don't really want to get into that right now. It's such a geopolitical relations are not my strong point anyway. Because I feel like it's always just the rich people who are profiteering from war, and it's the people who are going to work everywhere around the world that are the ones that are dying and suffering right there. $2 billion each. Yeah, that's a lot of money. They're probably at least got like, I don't know, maybe like they're not using open IPC in those things anyway. I'll tell you that for free. Thanks guys, the old guys, you've been great. That is Arthur. Is that you, mate? Oh, it is Arthur. I wish could someone say thanks, Arthur, in the chat. So thank you for your email. He's saying, thanks from the old guy. You've been a great help. Yeah, if you have any other questions while I'm here live right now, Arthur, so I don't have to respond to this, it's much easier just to talk about it, please let me know. And then you should be able to get flying and have a good time. What I would say, practice that soldering. Like when I first learned to solder, I took apart, I think it was an old computer mouse or some old circuit board, and just have a go at doing it. Make sure you get lead solder. I can't believe that I'm recommending this because I can understand the environmental, maybe I'm making the wrong choice here health-wise. I only solder with like 60-40 lead solder. It's just so much easier. It's so much nicer to solder with. I do not like the lead-free solder. And practice being like, I'm going to solder this pin here. I'm going to connect this little wire to here. Do that before you start to put it together. Do not learn to solder on your SpeedyBee stack. That's just a recipe for disaster. Sonny's saying, hey Stu, did you ever mess around with FPV and RC cars? I duct taped a tiny whip to the roof of my touring car and had an absolute blast ripping around the track. I did actually. Let me show you this because I took it one step further. Not many people saw this video. YouTube did not like it, but I was like, this was a lot of fun. Let me know if you've seen this video. So, just got to skip these ads. Basically getting an ad for Walmart right now. Okay. We have what we did. So we had Steve in the background. You can see he's driving around. We had our RC car, which is doing FPV, mixed with head tracking, mixed with a steering wheel and pedals. So we put all that together. Where are we? Yeah, we put all this together so we could actually drive. This was kind of cool. So that was some major deep dive into RC, driving around. It was kind of like the ultimate sim. You've got the steering wheel, you've got the pedals, you've got the camera to look around in HD, and we took it to a little road track as well. So very, very cool. That's on my channel. If you full motion RC car, but it's real life. That's the name. That's the name of it right there. So Chris Croft is saying, I watched that video. All right. Someone's saying, Stu, can we please get these as stickers? I have use cases. All right, that's from Sprinty. We'll have to have a look. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends how much it costs to get some stickers made and all that sort of stuff. All right, where is that track? That is around Brisbane, actually. All right, you absolute legends. My voice is about to disappear. I got to call my mum after this. You guys are amazing. This is probably the important part that I would like to say. Thank you for tuning in and talking FPV. It is the best part of my working week. But the most important thing here that I would like to mention is that no matter where you are around the world, no matter what you are doing, no matter what is happening in your life, I would like to let you know, the person hearing this, if your ears can hear these sound waves coming from wherever you are watching this, and it needs to resonate with one person, and it might be you today that you think he is talking to me, I would like to let you know that you are valued, you are cared about. The world is a better place with you in it, and I truly am grateful for you just to be here, to be listening to this, and I'd like to connect as a human to say thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done. Please don't feel alone, and you really are special. So you might be thinking, Stuart, that's ridiculous. You can't be talking to me. I am just even that one person who might need to hear it today. They might not be having the best day. They might be feeling down. They might not be feeling like themselves, but I would like to let them know that they are still cared about and you still are valued. So thank you. All right. Mr. J saying, have the best possible days. Be awesome to each other. You guys are amazing. I will see you. Hopefully we can get some of these videos fixed. Hopefully my computer doesn't explode again. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Thanks, guys. And also, too, thank you to, so hopefully my new member is right here. Lax, thank you for signing up. For anybody else, too, this might be the day when you say, you know what, Stu, I am going to become a member. That little button is down there, and there's also some bonus content as well. So I know Stickman Steve's talking about some extra HD0 content. We've got Walksnail, some DJI thoughts as well. And you get those cool little stickers that people are typing in chat, and you get a cool little green name. So if today might be the day that you might say, yeah, I am going to join that. I like these streams, Stu, and I want to become more and more involved in the UAVFutures family. It is greatly appreciated. And you help me make this content for other people as well to share this positivity around there. Oh, and look at this. Look who it is. I was just about to give Johnny DRC a shout out because he has been, that's like crazy deja vu. You are usually here, Johnny DRC, and people are like, man, there's no Johnny DRC. He's saying, yeah, I finally made it. As we are tuning out, it is the end of the stream. But look, people have missed you. He's here. So shout out to Johnny DRC as well, man. And thank you for that kind message. I know that you sent me that was very nice as well. After last week's stream. All right, guys, that's it. I will sorry. I will see you in the next video.